Hi everyone, it's Susan. Welcome back. Jumping straight into this tutorial, I'm using this stamp set, which is a Gina K Timeless Poppies. Now the main image is absolutely a good size, and the cardstock I'm stamping it on is 5.5 by 7, but I will cut it down when I'm ready to. So stamping it out with VersaFine Clay Nocturne. I'm going to do that again, just to give it another ink in. But you can see it is a beautiful stamp. And today I'm going to show you my trick to a quick ink blending technique. So what I've done on this copier paper, I've stamped it out 7 times and I've cut out a couple of the images. So I'm making masks so that it's easy for me to ink blend without spoiling any of the other parts of the stamp. So I'm going to get my old stamping platform, which I'm just using as a magnetic platform, popping number 1 on, and then I'm going to get my ink to blend. I'm using this ink today. It's called Moody Mauve. I've not used this this colour before, so I'm a bit unsure of how it's going to turn out with this stamp, but I just love this colour. So I'm putting it heavier at the bottom of the flower and then blending it through lighter till you get to the top. You can always add more after if you need to. Darker again in the centre and just keep adding some ink. It's a very easy technique to do, and you've not got to worry that you've got caught the colour anywhere else. And of course, once you've made these masks, you're going to use them time and time again. So that's number 1, and going on to number 2. And as you can see on number 2, I have used this one before. So just doing the same process, darker in the centre, and then with a lighter hand, blend out. You can always go back if you want to add more colour. I've gone quite dark in that centre, but I'm not worried about that. Stampin' Up inks, I just love them. Once they started to dry, they just blend into each other. So I'm going on to number 3, which is some leaves. And I'm using garden green for this one. I'm not doing it heavy, just a light hand. Number 4. And this is the same leaves, but in different places. So I'm using the same garden green ink. I'm changing up those buds a little bit. I'm going to add a bit of green on. Putting the mauve on those buds and blending into that green on that one. Putting the green on top of this one, just for a different colour for the bud. Now for these smaller leaves, which is a different leaf, I'm going to use a Distress Oxide in Peel Paint. Just for a different tone of green. And going on to the other. And of course, if you think you've missed a bit or you just want to adjust a part, you can put it back on and redo it. Now, how quick was that? I've cut a sentiment out. Well, I've cut it out 3 times and stacked it on top of each other. Just having a look, and I've missed a bit there. So I'm going to pop that stencil back on, adjust it a little bit, and just add a little bit more of the ink. It's not a problem whatsoever. And I'm happy with that. I hope you do have a go at this technique, because I know, yes, you've got to stamp out first and then cut your little elements out, but it's so easy after that. Now I'm going to matte it, but I haven't got the cardstock to match this ink, so I'm just going to put this mauve just around the outer. And although you're thinking it's, oh, that's looking a bit dark and it's a bit patchy, I'm not worried one little bit. It will all blend in to a uniform colour once that's dried. So I'm going to cut my piece down to size as well. So that's done. I'm going to glue my sentiment on. And while I'm doing that, I just want to thank everyone for watching the tutorials, for liking, subscribing. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It's totally free. If you tap the bell, you'll get notified when I put a new one on. And I'm just thankful that you're liking some of my tutorials. Now I've decided I'm going to put a bit of homemade texture paste on. So just getting a stencil, back onto the mat. Now this is my homemade texture paste. It is a bit dry, so I'm going to squirt a little bit of water to refresh it. Give it a mix. I don't want it too wet, but it was a little dry. Putting the stencil on. And just putting that through, just on the corner. Then on the opposite corner, I'm just going to have a bit on there as well. Now I have got a little bit on a leaf. I'm not worried. I know it'll come off. I'm going to get my pokey tool. And you wouldn't have known it was on. I think that looks so beautiful. Wiping your equipment. That's just wiping it with the baby wipe, but I will wash it properly afterwards in some soapy water. The texture paste does dry quite quickly, so you don't want to spoil your equipment. So I'm going to glue that down. With my wet glue. And because I've stacked it up 3 times, it does make a bold statement on there as well. So getting the matte piece, you can see that it's a perfect match. Getting that centred. Then getting a base card. Oh, and I'm loving that. It's so pretty. I'm sure you've all got some big stamps that you could do this technique with. So I hope you've liked it. Leave me a message. I love to hear what you think about them. If you'd like to have the texture paste recipe, I can leave it in the comments for you. Thank you so much for watching.